What's good, everybody? It's the GOAT Aaron Brown, and before this video start, be sure to follow me on Instagram. It's linked down below in the description. And if you want to support my channel and you appreciate the content I've been making, be sure to become a member of my channel. And I've seen a lot of people had concerns and difficulties of becoming a member of my channel, so I'm gonna show you how to do it, especially from an iPhone. So you have to go to the online version of YouTube on Safari and click the double A's in the bottom left corner and do it a request desktop version. And we request a desktop version. Then you could go to my channel, the Aaron Brown, kaboom. And right next to the subscribe button is the join button. And that's how you join my channel to support it. And yeah, I appreciate all the support. Now let's jump straight into it. In this video, we'll be talking about the high school phenom, Asinga, and how he's potentially going to make millions of dollars and probably never run again, despite getting unbanned. So the other day, they put out an article. It was on the 11th. So that was 5 days ago, that Asinga files a lawsuit against Gatorade that potentially, or not even potentially, that overall cost him an Olympic spot. And we all know Gatorade is a sub company of the parent company PepsiCo, who overall is $1 billion company. And Asinga, he just put in a lawsuit against these guys. And you usually don't just file lawsuits against anybody unless you have your evidence and things of that nature, in which they do. I went and read this whole article, and I want to just break it down. So the subtitle read, Asinga, a teenager who once beat Noah Lyles in a race, was elated when Gatorade honored him. Now he says the company is responsible for his banishment. And this article was written by a guy named Adam Kilgore. He's some writer, some national accredited writer. So the article read, the fastest high school sprinter in history is suing Gatorade, claiming the company gave him a fraudulent certified product that contaminated and banned substances and led to his 4-year banishment from track and field, costing him a chance to compete in the Paris Olympics. Blah, blah, blah. I went into his whole backstory of how he tested positive and things of that nature. And this was something that I felt stood out in the article. Let's find it. And also his dad was an Olympian for Suriname, and his mom was an Olympian too. 2 parent Olympians. He spoke about how they told him he needs to get tested, and he was like, bet, in which he did get tested and passed his first few tests. And right after the Gatorade ceremony is when he tested positive. He checked with his coach to make sure that the things are good to eat, and his coach said, yeah, they're fine. Gatorade doesn't make products that are against sporting rules, things of that nature. And then let me find where the part I found pretty interesting. Oh, this was an interesting part. So pretty much all he needed to get clear, because this is the reason he got banned. So he tested positive for the product, and all he had to do was provide a sealed version of the product, because the product that he turned in were contaminated with the same substances that he tested positive for. So all he had to do was to get the same product from Gatorade, so they could get tested too and prove that, yeah, these are contaminated. And he reached out to them, and Gatorade did not submit him a same copy from the same lot number of the product. And that's the overall reason he tested positive and could not prove his innocence, because they did not provide a sealed version of the same lot number of the Gatorade gummies that he had. So they just gave him a 4-year ban. And this is the portion of the article that I feel gives the lawsuit a lot of credibility. So it says that Asinga sent the gummies into the same lab, according to the lawsuit, on October 26, 2023. According to the lawsuit, the lab notified the AIU that the preliminary findings concluded that the Gatorade gummies had been contaminated with GW1516, He said when the company produces a dietary supplement that requires certification, it makes them in numbered lots so each lot can be tracked in the case of contamination. By federal regulation, it must keep some of each lot number. It says by AIU protocol, Asinga needed to obtain and submit a sealed bottle of the gummies from the same lot number as his. He contacted Gatorade to try to obtain a bottle of the gummies from the same appropriate lot. In late November of 2023, according to the lawsuit, a Gatorade representative texted Issam Asinga, "Okay, so bad news. Turns out we discontinued the gummies, so we don't have any more. They may come back, but sounds like we've had manufacturing issues." So what could these manufacturing issues possibly be? Potentially a contamination. And I feel like that information alone was enough for him to get off of a technicality in which, since he couldn't provide, I could see if he had them and he couldn't provide a sealed version, cool. But since Gatorade could not provide a sealed version, I feel like that the test should have been inconclusive and he should be allowed to run because they didn't give him a chance to prove his innocence, in which the law states that they should have extra batches of each lot number, and that they didn't, so he has to be able to run. And it says, according to the lawsuit, further intestines at the Utah lab confirmed that not only the GW16 contamination in the gummies had Asinga had supplied, it showed that the gummies, same baseline concentration of whatever had been detected in Issam's drug test. The chemical codes matched. The lab provided the analytical results to the AIU. Blah, blah, blah. Two unusual suspects. Blah, blah, blah. Said it has been found on the outside and the inside of the gummies. They said it could have been possible that they could have been like tamper with before being sent into the lab. And they said Issam Asinga could have possibly been the one that did the tampering, to have like infused the gummies with whatever. And his lawyer said that all of them would have been dipped individually into a formula that would have been watered into a trillionth of a gram. Green said, which is his lawyer, an 18-year-old kid living in a dorm would have to have done that. It's laughable that that's what he was accused of doing. So that's pretty much what Issam Asinga was accused of doing by the AIU. And they requested a sealed bottle of the gummies from the same lot number that he had. And according to the lawsuit, Gatorade insisted that the bottle of recovery gummies to the AIU was from a different lot number. The lot had been tested by NSF and was accurately labeled as such. According to the lawsuit, the NSF, in a public notice issued early June, said the container Issam Asinga's came from were not tested. So pretty much his were falsely marked, and that's why they were discontinued. He said when Gatorade submitted the gummies to the AIU, they did a bait and switch. And they said, we don't have a sealed supplement of the ones we gave you some, but we have another one. Why don't you take this one? And this one was NSF tested, certified, and then they let the lie feaster. Gatorade fully complied with the Athletics Integrity Unit investigation, including providing evidence that was accepted by the AIU that the gummies were not contaminated with the banned substance. The original ruling, a Gatorade spokesperson said that the email blah, blah, blah. So pretty much Gatorade pretty much submitted a different lot number of the same product and said, here, test these, knowing that those weren't the ones that was discontinued, because the ones that are discontinued were discontinued for a reason. They were falsely labeled and they were falsely certified. And I feel like that's a technicality big enough for Gatorade to lose this lawsuit. And I feel like that's a technicality big enough for the Athletic Integrity Unit to be like, okay, well, these aren't the same ones he had that y'all gave him, so we're just going to let him run because y'all are failing to produce the same ones and which tested positive for whatever, and they were infused. So it's on the inside and the outside of the gummies. And the kid sitting in the dorm room at Montverde Academy isn't going to be able to do this. He needs like a chemist and things of that nature to even uniformly do this. So it's pretty much a case of guilty until proven innocent. And if you can't prove your innocence, despite if $1 billion company is failing to work with you and providing the evidence in which they do have in their possession, then you're going to be suspended. So that just goes to show how in track and field, the drug companies run track and field, and they're doing everything in their power to work against the athletes. So that's why I feel in this case, once Asinga, because I think they're going to Gatorade is going to settle this lawsuit outside of court, and they're going to give him like a lump sum of money, probably a large lump sum of money, and I think that he's going to get the money and never run again, because why would you go participate in a track and field event when the people who run track and field don't care about their athletes, and they're clearly, it shows you right in front of your eyes that they're visually working against you when you are innocent, and you can't prove your innocence because Gatorade, the $1 billion company, is failing to produce the evidence. And when it's time to produce the evidence to save face, they submit a whole different lot number, and somehow the AIU still accept that lot number knowing it's different. And yeah, it's working against you. So despite if they were contaminated or not, or self-contaminated, the fact that they could not provide the same batch number in which they're supposed to have and an abundance of should be a technicality big enough to let you off. So I feel like he's definitely going to win this case. It's probably going to be settled outside of court. He may not get the millions that he wants, so he may get like 1 or 2 million. I'm not sure the millions that he sued for, but yeah, I feel like there should be a lawsuit against the AIU as well, because they're pretty much working against him and all of their other athletes. Like, if they can ban you, they're a nonprofit, so they get paid to ban people. It don't matter, and like the bigger you are, I'm assuming the more they get paid. And yeah, it's a sad cycle. Track and field is super corrupt. I know a lot of things on the inside that I'm not going to state at this moment about the AIU and World Athletics and USATF and USADA, but just know it's a super corrupt system. They let some people dope and some people they don't. They sweep tests under the rugs of their top athletes and their favorite athletes. And then some athletes, they just get out of here, and they even plant certain stuff on certain athletes to get them suspended. Hence the reason a lot of people beat a lot of these cases. Well, not a lot of people, but some people beat these cases, especially these contamination cases. But I'm not going to say too much on that. But I think it's going to be really interesting to follow. And Asinga more than likely will get the settlement or a settlement from Gatorade. And he should take that money and participate in these outside leagues like World One, and hell, even the enhanced games where they actually care about their athletes and they don't have a governing body working against the people that makes them millions. So let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Make sure to become a member of my channel and subscribe.